So at SAS, we have the Trustworthy AI Swarm, which is composed of a bunch of different folks from a bunch of different departments. We were given a set of priorities to try to create some features to make it easier for people to create trustworthy AI.
It really starts with three key questions. For what purpose, to what end, and for whom might it fail, right? And if we can get that group thinking about those three questions from the vantage point at which they approach the topic, we give the product now a shot, right? Of being the best version that it can be for the people that it's intended to serve.
Transparency, explainability, interpretability, these are all hallmarks of trustworthy AI, so what you're doing is something that isn't a black box, right? It can't be explained.
There's so much to consider, and there's so much that's really important in this field. We need to care about bias and fairness and trust, a robust model, right? We also have to make sure the technology is there and it's working quickly. All of these things sometimes can create a tension.
When you're building applications, a lot of people come together to right from conceptualizing it to delivering it. From product managers who come up with various ideas for features, to data scientists who actually work on collecting the data, curating it, labeling it, to UX designers who come up with wonderful mock-ups for you to create. Me as a developer, it's my job to get it done and deliver it to the user. And finally, you have the testing team making sure that all the use cases are met. So it's a complete circle of trust that you have, working on delivering applications that are really important to the user and which is centered around human values.
I do think that's an interesting thing that people or the UX team at SAS and any UX team working with trustworthy AI issues is really just tapping into that commitment that sort of is the soul of what we do anyway, which is trying to get users to trust the experience that we've created for them and to keep them engaged with that thing, knowing that I'm going to be able to solve my problem at the end of this workflow or at the end of this experience.
Outcomes are better when they are informed by a diverse group. I'm not just talking about race and ethnicity or gender and sexual preference. All of that is easy. That's table stakes, right? But what about profession? What about geography? Different sensibilities matter, and they show up in product.
We survive and we thrive as human beings because we can cooperate. We dominate this planet not because we have powerful bodies, but because we can cooperate in large numbers, even with strangers. And the basis for that is ethics. So we're ethical by nature. Machines, ethically oblivious. So you can have a machine that unhesitatingly creates harm. A human being wouldn't do that. We'd know, okay, I've crossed the line, I'm not going to do this. The machine has no concept of that. So we need to include an ethical perspective into our systems, our AI systems, by design at the very beginning. So this is why I find this so compelling.
I think being involved in trustworthy AI design really does require you to be a cautious optimist.
For me, what has been so wonderful about working on this team is we can bring our own lens to the conversation from a trustworthy AI perspective and blend that together with the expertise of each individual product team so that ultimately whatever we end up creating is that much better.